All right, welcome to Hot Take Sports. This is episode 39. So it's going to be our NBA All-Star and trade deadline episode. Right now, I'm here with Clayton as he's actually going to a Cavs and Pistons game tonight. So he and I are meeting a little before the other guys are going to get. So Clayton can put in his 2 cents and get on his way. So Clayton, you can start off with whatever you would like to talk about first.
All right, thanks, Brady. Yeah, like Brady said, I got the opportunity to go to a Pistons Cavs game tonight in Detroit. Very last minute decision, and I'm sorry that I can't be there, but I still wanted to contribute, so I'm gonna give you guys my 2 cents. We'll start with All-Star Game weekend. Obviously, the dunk contest. I guess we'll start there. So violently underwhelming. It hurt me to watch. Cole Anthony dunking and Tim's was kind of cool, but like when Jalen Green missed that dunk and Kareem walked out of the arena, like everyone kind of knew that that was the point that nobody was going to watch it anymore. And I would also like to point out that NFT chains, like the one Jalen Green wore, were cool until he wore it and ruined the dunk contest wearing it. So just saying, that ruined the trend. Karl Anthony Towns winning the 3-point competition. That was very cool to see. I like when big men can do stuff like that. And I also think that kind of shows like how the game has changed over the years. Like in the 90s, no big man would have even been remotely thought of to compete in the 3-point contest. But today, like Karl Anthony Towns won. So I think that's kind of cool.
All right, so Clayton, before you continue here real quick, because I'm gonna ask you there too later. Do you think Karl Anthony Towns will be the best shooting big man?
There's no reason why he couldn't be, especially at this point in his career. He's still young and he's already got a 3-point contest win under his belt. So if he continues to improve, there's no reason he couldn't be.
Okay. And so you've covered dunk contest, 3-point contest. So that leaves the Rising Stars games, the All-Star Challenge, and the All-Star Game.
I did not watch either of the Rising Stars games. I saw some of the highlights, but I didn't really pay too deep attention to them. But it's good to see the young guys out there. Seeing the Ignite players playing with all those guys was kind of cool. Shows how that experiment's going. But the skills contest, no, you go for it, Brady.
I was gonna say I know Isaac watched some of it. Isaac said they're pretty good, and from everything I had seen, they were pretty tight and intense games. So Team Barry won it all, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I think they did too. But that's another example of how the game is changing. 10 years ago, you pretty much had to go to college, especially with there being no like draft out of high school rules anymore. So that shows just the way that the game is developing, and I think that's really cool to see. But switching gears to the All-Star game, obviously the big story out of there was Steph Curry was on fire. I think he had 16 threes.
Yeah, 16 made 3-pointers, yeah. So he hit 48 out of 50 points were threes.
Yeah, the dude literally couldn't miss. I don't even remember him hitting a layup. I know he was at 45 at one point, and he had made 15 threes, so his layup was at the end of the game.
All right, let me see if I can find the box score for you.
But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the All-Star game. Another positive thing I have to say about that is I love the new like Kobe Bryant tribute format for the fourth quarter. Like you just have to score 24 more points.
I agree. I like that last year too. I definitely thought it was really nice this year.
Like especially in like for the example, the Pro Bowl, they don't try, they don't care, and everybody hates the Pro Bowl. But like they try and they like care at the end of the NBA All-Star game now, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find the box score here.
Yeah, you're good. Another thing that I would just like to say about the All-Star game is LeBron. LeBron is now either 5-0 or 6-0 as a GM in the All-Star game, which
I believe it's 5-0.
Is it 5-0? Yeah,
it's what.
Point being, he's undefeated. I think that's kind of funny, but yeah. Who else was going to hit the game-winning shot in Cleveland? Like, who else was it going to be?
Like I said, yeah, the two kids from Akron showed up and showed out. That is for sure.
Yeah. Steph, yeah. If you wanted a shooting clinic, you should have watched the All-Star game.
All right, so I've got Curry's box score pulled up. Or I've got the whole box score pulled up here. So Curry shot 17 of 30. and
That's
16
really
of
good.
27 from three. He took 27 3-point attempts.
I mean,
Giannis took three.
Giannis should not be shooting more than 2 max. And in an all-star game, no. Plant yourself in the paint and posterize somebody. That's what we paid to see. We
Yeah.
paid to see Steph shoot threes and you dunk on somebody. Speaking of dunks, Ja Morant. Oh my gosh, that guy is awesome. Watching him just like sail. So cool. So cool. But I think that we can thank Dwayne Wade for not having any good people in the All-Star game or in the dunk contest ever again. So shout out to you, D Wade. You ruined the dunk contest for future generations, and we're super proud of you. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Ja's a beast.
Yeah. Watching him show up and dominate was kind of cool. And I think that's pretty much everything I had with All-Star Game weekend. Sad to see Damian Lillard not there, but happy that DG and Jared Allen were both there and played well.
Yeah. So I have one more thing for the All-Star Game, and then I got to ask you about the skills challenge. What do you think of Chris Paul playing in the All-Star Game after it came out that he was going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks?
I was just confused. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, well, when I think it was Leo said something about it in the group chat, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Bro, really checked it and played?
But yeah, that was just confusing. That was just a confusing situation.
Oh, absolutely. And then the Cavs won the skill contest challenge. I haven't watched it yet. That's the one thing I have left to watch. So I don't know if you watched it or not.
I watched parts of it. I had to work the BG hockey game that night. But one thing that I did see was Darius Garland did great in the shooting portion. So shout out to him. He carried our team. He hit like a bunch of 5s and a bunch of 3s. So super happy with that. And yeah.
All right. Then do you have anything on the trade deadline, Clayton?
I only have 2 things. Number one, obviously the Cavs made a move for Karis LeVert. I'm cool with it, to be honest. Like, I don't really think he'll hurt, especially with Colin Sexton not playing right now. But when Colin Sexton comes back is my question. Like, do we move him? Do we move LeVert? Do we keep both? I don't really know.
That was going to be my next question was, do you keep one and not the other, or do you try to keep both?
I mean, obviously you want to try and keep both and see if it can work. I mean, there's no reason that couldn't work. But one of them would for sure have to be coming off the bench or move to the 3. So
I was going to say, so who would you rather play at the 3, Karis LeVert or Lauri Markkanen?
I mean, like I said, Lauri Markkanen would probably have to go to the bench if we move.
I'm definitely going to have to ask Isaac that question later because I want to hear his response.
I don't know. Like I said, you can't – there are a bunch of things the Cavs could do, and not any of them are really bad necessarily. But there are some things that I would like to see them do more than others, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. So I do have one more thing for you because I know you got to leave here in a couple of minutes. Yep. What did you think of the Harden and Simmons trade?
That was the other thing I was going to bring up.
Okay.
Thank the Lord a super team finally blew up in somebody's face. That makes me so happy, first and foremost. But, I mean, I'm happy to see Ben Simmons get new life, I guess. I think the Nets definitely won that trade, to be completely honest.
Oh, that's another thing I was going to ask you was who won that trade. I was going to say, because now Ben Simmons can play the 4.
Exactly. Like, I see no reason the Nets will get any worse because of that. And, like, obviously Ben Simmons, he's fresh, he's healthy, he hasn't played yet, so he doesn't have, like, any of that midseason wear and tear type stuff. And being able to see him in a new uniform, new city, like, that should be good for him. Harden, I kind of want to see what he does with Joel Embiid. There's no reason they couldn't be successful together either. I think they'll complement each other a little bit better because obviously James Harden can shoot much, much better.
Yeah, and especially when the trade like immediately happened, there was a lot of the Spider-Man meme. Just Kyrie was blaming Harden, KD was blaming Harden, Harden was blaming Kyrie, Harden was blaming KD.
To be completely honest, Kyrie is the one at fault. I said it. Clip it, quote it, whatever. Kyrie is the reason the Nets are not playing well right now.
So
Do you remember back when Harden left or got dealt from Houston? He was like going to the nightclub and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
well, apparently he was doing even more of that in Brooklyn, especially out on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So I've seen some people that think that didn't help. So then Kyrie and KD were not Kyrie and KD. Kyrie and Harden were standing there butting heads over it. Mr. Half Player and Mr. Life of the Party.
Well, at least Mr. Life of the Party was available for home games. That's the way I look at it.
I did see something interesting. I didn't realize this, I guess, but Kyrie's the only one affected by it. Unvaccinated players from other teams can play in Brooklyn, but Kyrie cannot.
Seriously?
I didn't realize that.
I didn't realize that either. Unvaccinated players from other teams can play there.
Yeah, because Adam Silver actually called it out the other day.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't realize that until they had said something about it. I was like, wait a minute. How does that make sense?
God, the world we live in makes my brain hurt sometimes. But,
especially today.
All right, that makes sense. If unvaccinated players from other teams can play, there's no reason Kyrie Irving shouldn't be allowed to play.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Man, I'm going to remember to bring all this up later. I'm probably going to forget, but it's okay.
Good. I hope
At
you
least
guys
it was
have
brought
fun
up
later.
Oh, Clayton, we're hoping you have fun. Ideally, FMO will dominate. So
Hopefully. I'm happy to see Cade Cunningham. Darius Garland is not playing tonight. But
that's right. Yeah, I saw that.
So
did you enter NBA fantasy, Clayton?
I did. I picked Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. So
okay, I also picked Jared Allen. So hopefully Jared Allen pops off. Clayton, thanks for stopping in to give your 2 cents. Hope you have fun tonight.
Will do. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't be there, but I really wanted to jump on this opportunity. I've never been to an NBA basketball game before, and I'll be going to 2 within the span of a week. So
can't relate.
very, very, very excited, and I'm excited to jump back in the studio with you guys next time.
All right, and now with that, we'll head to the main part of the episode with Matt and Isaac. All right, welcome back. We're now here to the main part of the episode with Matt and Isaac. The original plan was to meet in person today, but due to some weather, we're online. So talked to Clayton a little bit earlier. He graced over the All-Star weekend mostly. Talked a little bit about the trade deadline. Just kind of covered Karis LeVert and the James Harden Ben Simmons trade. Guys, how you doing? Matt, we'll start with you.
Tired. Ready for spring break.
Yeah, that's completely fair. Don't blame you. Isaac?
Good. Ready for the Cavs game.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, Matt, Isaac, and Clayton are actually going up to a Cavs game on the 28th when the Cavs play the Timberwolves. I will not be joining them as I have a 3 p.m. exam.
Garland better play.
It's brutal, but I'll have to live. But yeah, we'll
second Brady, because you said Matt, Clayton, Isaac, and I are going to a Cavs Wolves game on the 28th, and then you said, but I will not be attending. I was like,
I thought I said Matt, Clayton, and Isaac. That's my bad. I wish I was attending.
I was like, I ain't got a ticket for you, homie, so you're gonna have to get your own.
Yeah, I wish I was going, but I am not. But yeah, we'll kind of dive right into the deals. We've got 16 deals here, it appears. 15 or 16.
Can I bring up mine first?
Nope.
Well, it depends. Is it a trade or is it something general?
Yes.
No, you're not talking then. We're going to go straight by the book. We're taking it, don't tell Clayton, we're taking it straight off the Bleacher Report article by Dan Favale. So we're just
I was going to say that.
We're going to give our opinions. Well, we got to give credit where credit's due.
Oh, no, I meant the don't tell Clayton part.
Not Railroad Street Report. I would like to bring up before you start, Matt. Shout out to the Memphis Grizzlies for following us on Twitter, Hot Take Sports 16.
It's true. It's a good point.
Subtle
Matt,
plug.
man, by being pretty quick on the Twitter. So
just open the app at the right time, homie. All right, let's jump right in. So, obviously, they started with the big article or the big article, the big trade up top. We're gonna go through. We're gonna list off what the trade was. We'll give our opinions on grades and whatnot. Definitely hit us up on Twitter with you guys' grades and opinions on the trade deals, of course. So, first, the big one. The Philadelphia 76ers get James Harden and Paul Millsap. They trade away Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, 2022 first round pick, and a 2027 first round pick.
So the original grades they gave
We
the
don't
Nets would be.
give ours. We don't give theirs first. Give ours first.
Sorry. Matt, can we get your grades first?
Okay, I guess I'll go first. So I am for sure on the side that the Brooklyn Nets won this trade, which is fairly easy to do when you already have two superstars, and then you bring in a guy who could, if he played the full season, could definitely be in Defensive Player of the Year voting and stuff like that. And Ben Simmons is huge. He defends really well, which is what that team needed, and he can initiate the offense. And considering James Harden was their offensive initiator beforehand, but all James Harden wants to do is score. I say all that he wants to do. Obviously, we know he can get double-digit assists and whatnot. But other than that, he's pretty much kind of left out of the offense when Kyrie and KD have the ball. Ben Simmons will have no problem with that. He'll initiate the offense, and he's more than happy to just get out of the way. So I like this for the Brooklyn Nets. Plus, they get Seth Curry and Andre Drummond, so they even ended up with more depth out of this. A good guy to just stand on the side, catch and shoot threes, and another guy to bring off the bench and, grab you 10 rebounds, get 8 points or so. So I give Brooklyn an A for this because I think Ben Simmons is still going to be really good in the NBA. Philadelphia, good for Paul Millsap to get out, get to a bigger role because he'll be one of the only big guys off the bench for the Sixers. Obviously, they lost some depth, so that hurts them a lot. Seth Curry was really good for them. Andre Drummond was playing decent. And I just don't think that James Harden and Joel Embiid will be as good of a duo as everybody thinks. So far, all we've seen is James Harden does not play well with other superstars. And Joel Embiid's having an MVP season right now. So I don't think it'll work as well as it should. Joel Embiid is better with the ball in his hands, not running the pick and roll. James Harden is only good with the ball in his hands and running the pick and roll. So I give a C to the Sixers. C plus. I'll give them a C plus. Good for them. They finally got rid of Ben Simmons. They got the guy they wanted, but I don't think the guy they wanted was the right fit.
Isaac?
All right, I'll start off. I think Brooklyn gets an A plus plus because I think Ben Simmons was hustling the 76ers.
Elaborate.
Okay.
And you get Seth Curry to come off the bench, who's a dominant 3-point shooter. Then you have Drum either come off the bench or start for you and get you probably 10 to 12 in a couple points. And I think Ben Simmons working with Kyle Korver, he can shoot that three a little bit. He won't win a game. He hasn't done it in a game, but we'll see. I think he might start taking a couple more of those. We'll see. And I think the 76ers get a D minus. I mean, Harden's good. Embiid's going on an MVP. I think Harden messes that up. I don't think they'll work really well together. I don't think Embiid's gonna win finals. I don't think he's gonna win MVP with Harden coming in. I think like a Curry could blow by him or a Luka because Luka's the only guy on his team. We'll get to that.
Well, Curry's going to have to actually play during the regular season and not only in All-Star games. Because he hit a nice coming into our break. So.
Yes. Well, Curry was putting up numbers inside the paint and dishing the ball and playing good D. He had that MVP repertoire, I should say, but he
was in the
wasn't doing
vicinity.
enough. Yeah.
Especially
That's
this
all
good
I
as this
have.
team is. What were your grades again? I'm sorry. You gave an A+ to the Nets.
A++ to the Nets and a D- to the 76ers.
D-. Oh, you were brutal. All right, Brady.
Well, because I can't really go with any bigger gaps than A++ and D-. But I mean, I'll start with the Nets. I mean, I definitely think the Nets get an A. I mean, you bring in Ben Simmons, who, as it sits, you can play him at the 1 for home games, but the very strange protocol where only Kyrie Irving can't play in Barclays is apparently being phased out. So Ben Simmons will pretty much play the 4. Seth Curry can go back and forth between the 2 and the 3. And now you've got Drummond to pair with Claxton to split minutes at the 5. And then I think once you get Kevin Durant back, I think that team will be lethal. Especially because now obviously they didn't get like 8 picks like they traded for Harden, but still got a couple picks back, try to recoup at least a little bit of what they gave up. I mean, and they got rid of Harden, so I actually brought it up earlier with Clayton. What the immediate aftermath was the whole Spider-Man meme of Harden blaming KD and Kyrie blaming Harden, and KD blaming both of them. And I definitely think it was good for the Nets to get Harden out of there. And I mean, on terms of Ben Simmons alone, he needed out. And then so yeah, I already gave the Nets a grade. I gave them an A. Then I'll give the Sixers a B because, well, how about this? I give them a B now, but if they make the NBA Finals, then to an A because
These are initial reactions. This isn't like, well, it could work down the line.
Oh well, yeah, that's fair.
We're talking about right now.
So yeah, I'll stick with a B then. I mean, Harden's supposed to debut tomorrow against the T-Wolves. Matt, I know you're punching the air about that, but it is what it is.
Back end of a back-to-back, and we got to face James Harden.
Right.
And Joel Embiid.
Yeah. But, I mean, I definitely think Harden and Embiid could work. It really depends because the only time that Harden's, been with another superstar and actually made the playoffs was, when he was, solidified superstar was Russell Westbrook that one year. And at least I'm pretty sure they made the playoffs when Russ got traded to Houston. I don't remember for sure.
They definitely made the playoffs.
That's what I thought, which is really interesting because both of them can't play with anyone else and be good.
I'm sure they lost to the Blazers.
That might have been, but then like Matt mentioned in terms of Paul Millsap, good for him. He wanted out of Brooklyn, went somewhere where he'll actually play, better situation. That's what he got.
All right, so ready to move on to the next one. They gave
bring something. Matt, let me bring James opted out of his contract this season too.
But part of them agreeing to that trade was him opting into his player option for next year. They just didn't meet it by the deadline, so he still could opt out. But he told the Sixers he would opt in.
Well, we saw how that happened with Kyrie, so we'll see.
Anyway, Matt, go ahead.
Okay. So they gave the Nets a B. They gave the Sixers a B+. So obviously they didn't quite agree with us, but so be it. We'll see. Next is one of the weirdest trades of the deadline for sure. The Dallas Mavericks got Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans, and the Wizards got Kristaps Porzingis and a second-round pick in return. So Brady, you can go first this time. What do you think of this trade?
Well, I'm gonna give the Wizards an A. No, I'll give them a B+. They added, second round pick isn't much, but they added Tingis Pingus, who can play Tingis Pingus. You've never heard him called that?
Isaac, your turn. talk
What?
about the
No,
trades.
let me finish.
I
Let me
can't listen to
finish.
him talk.
No. Nope.
Okay, I won't call him Tingus Pingus. It's okay. Isaac, you can't spell. Leave me alone. Anyway,
Well, Tingus isn't a word.
Okay. Greedy.
okay, so the Wizards, they picked up Kristaps Porzingis. He can play the 4 or the 5. It just kind of depends on what alignment they've got going out. Also, depending on what alignment they have, he can stand in the corner and shoot threes every once in a while like he wants. And then in terms of the Mavericks, I gotta give the Mavericks a D. Like, okay, you have Luka. You have Jalen Brunson just playing well. You have Dorian Finney-Smith, who's, he's good defensively. Then, you've got KP in the paint. Then you're like, you know what? This isn't working out. Let's just
KP's
trade him
not
for
in the
another
paint.
guard.
KP's never in the paint.
Anyway, he's in the front court, and that's what matters. Anyway, they're like, you know what? Let's just trade him for a guard we don't need. So, Dinwiddie's definitely a good ad because
They traded him. They got Davis Bertans too. He's the same position. They're both 4s.
yeah, but Davis Bertans at this point, he's just kind of like a bench piece, like a deeper bench piece. I don't think he had been playing that well for the Wizards either. He
hasn't been playing for them.
Exactly.
He shot the living crap out of the ball last year, and then got paid like $20 million for the next 3 years, and then couldn't even crack the rotation this year when they blew up their team because he can't shoot the ball worth crap. And
That's
even
what I
if
was
they
about
went
to
on like a
say.
10-game losing streak, he still didn't get into the rotation.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It was essentially just a salary dump in both directions.
That's not how salary dumps work.
Well, sorry. I guess the better wording for it would be both teams wanted out of their bad contracts, but took on other bad contracts.
Isaac, go for. Did you give your grades, Brady? You gave what, a D- or D and a
then a B plus.
All right, Isaac.
So the Wizards got Porzingis or Porzingis. I'll give them a B. They got something to say. Hey, Bradley Beal, we got you something to help you, to make him want to stay. And I get that. But the Mavericks, okay, they got rid of a guy that stands out at 3-point line. Dinwiddie and another guy that pretty much stands out at the point line. So I'll give them a B minus because I think they got good stuff. They have Dinwiddie coming off the bench or to start and help Luka with ball handling a little bit. So I get that, and that's smart. But they need that big guy in the paint now. So
they didn't have it beforehand.
He did say they need one now.
Why do you guys think that because he's 7'2" that he's automatically in the paint? You both said that now.
I said they need one now.
Yeah, I think that's giving decent analysis.
They didn't have it beforehand.
Yeah, that's why I need it now.
No, they've always needed it. Since Dirk left, they've needed it.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's completely fair.
And even then, by that time, Dirk wasn't even in the paint that much. It was all one-legged fadeaways from 16 to 18 feet.
They should just sign Andre. They should sign Andre Drummond this winter. I don't know what they think they're doing.
Good luck. He's going to stay with the Nets and win more championships.
Probably.
Oh, my goodness. This trade was horrible. It was horrible both directions. Normally, when you look for a trade in any sport, you go, oh, wow, this team fleeced this team. Oh, this team got totally screwed by this team. Or you go, oh, nice. This one actually looks like it could work out for both teams. No, both of these teams got crap for this trade. Spencer Dinwiddie has not played good since he came back from his knee injury. I think it was his knee. Because the only thing he could do before then was finish. And then he was a decent rebounding guard and decent passer. Well, he can't finish now because he can't explode to the rim anything like he used to. And Davis Bertans, like I already said, couldn't even crack the rotation for a Wizards team on like an 8-game losing streak or something like that. because the dude got paid $60 million over the next 3 to 4 years to shoot the ball and can't shoot the ball. And then the Wizards, who you would look at this and you go, oh, wow, they got Kristaps Porzingis back. That's a huge win. Except for Kristaps never freaking plays. The dude plays like 3 games and then is out for the next 6 because he's always freaking hurt. By the way, Davis Bertans is making $15 million this year, 16 for the next 2, and 17 for the last one.
Wow.
So what is it? What is it? He got a 5-year, $80 million contract. What's that? What's it?
Fancy.
He must have gotten 16 this year.
It was 15 last year. It's 16 this year. Last year was the first year of his contract.
Okay.
How sad is it? It's like a broken record. How sad is it that the Mavericks had to give away a 2nd-round pick to get rid of Kristaps Porzingis?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Because, like, literally, that means that they were actively shopping him and no one wanted him. Nobody would take him on. And so finally the Wizards were like, last minute, oh, I mean, you can have these guys. One of them doesn't play, and the other one none of our fans like, so screw it, you can have them. Oh, but we're going to need a 2nd-round pick, too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just sad. So, C- for the Wizards, C for the Mavericks.
All right. So we'll move on then.
They gave the Mavericks a D and gave the Wizards an A. Whatever.
Really?
Yeah. Dude's wild.
Yeah, that's wild.
Okay. Isaac, you're going to start us off here. The Hornets get Montrezl Harrell, and the Wizards get Ish Smith and Vernon Carey Jr. And I believe Vernon Carey Jr., I believe this is his 2nd year in the league.
I was going to say, I think he's only 20. I think he was one of the young ones.
Yeah.
Okay. And Harold went to
the Hornets.
The Hornets. I would give the Hornets an A+ because they needed a center. They got an A, and I don't know much about the other 2 guys. I mean, they sound young, so I'll give the Wizards.
Says sound young, bro. Ish Smith's like 34.
Yeah, Ish Smith's like 32.
Oh,
Isaac.
Well, one of them's young, so B-.
Coach, they sound young, bro.
I literally know nothing about them.
Brady, you want to go next, or you want me to go next?
I'll go. I'll give the Hornets a B because you have a big man duo of Plumlee and Montrezl Harrell. And then, the Wizards, they already got Porzingis and they got rid of Dinwiddie. So they're like, you know what? Let's replace Dinwiddie with Ish Smith, bro. Ish Smith.
Like, hey, don't you be crapping on Ish Smith over there. Ish Smith is that guy. He's one of the fastest players in the league.
That's true, but Ish Smith's also 32. Dinwiddie was not. However,
he's probably better than Dinwiddie right now.
Maybe. I didn't think Ish Smith had been playing all that much.
He's been playing enough.
Fair enough. I also didn't realize he was with Charlotte until it happened. That's wild. But I definitely think adding Vernon Carey is a nice piece for the Wizards long term. I mean, I was going to say, because he's a 20-year-old guard, so that's a nice developmental piece you can work around in the future, especially if Bradley Beal leaves. But yeah, I'll give the Wizards I'll give them a C+.
Neither of you know anything.
Why?
Vernon Carey's not a guard. He's a center.
I thought Vernon Carey was a guard.
He's a 6'9" center.
Oh no, it's Kira Lewis Jr. that's a guard. He
plays for the Pelicans.
Yeah, I know. I get the names mixed up. That's my bad.
He's literally just a super young Montrezl Harrell. He's 21.
Oh, well,
Actually-
that changes everything.
Actually, he turns 22 tomorrow. So happy birthday, Vernon Carey Jr., I guess.
My apologies. Well then, yeah. Well then, I'll give the Wizards a B then. A nice young center to build around, rather than the injury-prone Thomas Bryant. You know.
Game in the NBA.
Hey man, he's probably still better than Thomas Bryant.
Is he? Is it?
Well, I mean, currently Thomas Bryant's always injured.
Okay.
Maybe
fair.
not
He
when
did-
Thomas Bryant's actually healthy, but you know.
Thomas
You
Bryant
dig?
is a solid offensive center. Don't talk
That's
about his
true.
defense.
All right. So Matt, finish.
All right. I don't even know. Shout out to Ish Smith. I'm hoping after this year he goes to a new team, because then he'll officially hold the record for guy who has played for the most teams in the NBA. Unfortunately, this is his second stint with the Wizards, so it doesn't count.
Oh, it's really only a
Um,
second.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
his second stint with the Wizards. Vernon Carey Jr. He's just another center to stack up their front court with, and not necessarily in a good way. They've got Kyle Kuzma, they've got Rui Hachimura, they've got Thomas Bryant, they've got Kristaps Porzingis now. So he's just one more guy to shove in there. Like you said, maybe a long-term piece. Ish Smith will just continue to be a solid backup point guard. So that's a C for the Wizards for me. Hornets, I'm going to give them a B minus because, yeah, they needed a new center, but 6'10, 6'9, 6'8 Montrezl Harrell was not the guy they needed.
Yeah.
He's not going to stretch the floor for him at all. He's not going to do a whole lot on defense. I mean, Montrezl Harrell's great on any team. Don't get me wrong. The energy that he brings, offensive rebounds, he can pop off for 25 points in a night and 5 offensive rebounds. That's awesome, but he's not bringing the 3-and-D rim protector that they needed. Like,
Yeah.
when their goal was Miles Turner, who is 3 threes a game, 3 blocks a game, you fall to Montrezl Harrell, it's not exactly a win. So I'll give them a B minus because at least they were willing to change it up, and they really didn't lose all that much for it.
All right. We can move on then.
They gave the Hornets a B and the Wizards a B plus, but so close enough.
Interesting.
So the next trade is one that I like. I'll start this one off. The Boston Celtics got Derek White, and the Spurs got Josh Richardson, Romeo Langford, and a 2022 first-round pick that is top 4 protected. So they'll get that because the Celtics obviously are not going to be a bottom 4 team in the league, and shouldn't even be in the lottery. So don't have to worry about that. Start off with the Celtics. I like Derek White for them. I think solid piece for them as long as he understands that he's a role player and not one of the stars. I like to think that he's just a replacement for Marcus Smart for when he leaves. Hold on, I'm checking want to check on his contract. So I think he has a few
1 or 2 years. I think Smart has 1 or 2 left.
Derek White's at the start of his contract. Okay. So he's on a 4-year, $70 million. So I like that for them. He'll be a good piece. He kind of fits the timeline there, I would say.
What's Smart? Does he have 1 or 2 years left?
Derek White's 27, so that makes sense. Give me a second. Marcus Smart is on the end of his contract, by the way. This is last year.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, like you said, Marcus Smart replacement.
So yeah, look at me knowing stuff and stuff.
Mega brain.
Derek White, Marcus Smart replacement. Not quite the energy guy, but I would say probably a better scorer. for his role. Just another backcourt piece. He's going to be more effective than Josh Richardson was, even though Josh Richardson is towards the top of the league in 3-point percentage this year. Just on way.
Interesting.
Romeo Langford, just another young guy for the Spurs. It'll be good to see him hopefully get some more minutes over there. Let him grow a little bit more. He was just another guy that the Celtics drafted and prayed that he might actually work out. Obviously didn't really turn into anything too crazy in the time that they got. So, but overall, just another first-round pick for the Spurs. Josh Richardson is playable, but he's heading towards the older side. Romeo Langford's just another young building piece. So I'll give a B plus to the Celtics. I don't know if that's the move that turns their season up, but I think they'll be fine. And I'll give a B plus to the Spurs too, I guess. Even though I just said I don't want to give teams the same grade.
Isaac.
Derek White. He'll be a good replacement for Smart once he leaves, because I definitely think he's leaving to go somewhere else where he can become a star.
He's not going to become a star. He's going to be a Timberwolf next year.
Only in your dreams, Matt.
You can say that.
Not in my dreams, because we were trying to trade for him.
That's true. It's a good point. Fair enough.
True.
And we extended Pat Beverly, so our game closing lineup is going to be D'Angelo Russell, Patrick Beverly, Marcus Smart, Anthony Edwards, and Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh yeah.
We're going to play
Isaac,
four
continue.
freaking guards next to Cat. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but I could see him be a Wolf, but that's not the point.
Isaac, continue.
Yeah, Derek White. He's a good scorer. I don't know how good he is on defense. I haven't watched him enough, I should say. So I'll give a B minus. Other guy?
Josh
Okay.
Richardson,
So-
Romeo Langford, and 2022 top 4 protected pick.
Well, first round, a dub. Yeah, so I'll give them a C just because it's the first round pick.
Brady?
All right, so I actually got to hand out 3 grades. Okay. So first off, DeJounte Murray gets an A+ for the absolute meme he dropped when this happened. In terms of the actual trade, I definitely think the Celtics get a B+ for adding a guy like Derek White, who, like you mentioned, is at the start of his contract and can definitely help solidify that team. I think giving up Josh Richardson and Romeo Langford, I think alone was a win. Then I think the first round pick, like Isaac mentioned, is definitely a win for the Spurs. So I mean, the Spurs get somebody else to put beside DeJounte Murray and somebody else to maybe use as a piece for the future. But that top 4 protected pick is going to be pretty nice here in the next year or two, depending on when it actually gets used.
Yeah. I mean, the Celtics really didn't lose anything to bring in another guard, but they didn't really get the offensive initiator that they needed. So
Yeah,
we'll see how that works out.
Did I give us the Spurs grade?
No.
B.
Okay. So they gave the Celtics a B and the Spurs a B+. So yeah, in the B range.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So on to the next one. I believe this was one of the first trades of the deadline. But this is the big 4-teamer. So the Pistons get Marvin Bagley III. The Clippers, excuse me, let me restart. So the Pistons get Marvin Bagley III from the Kings. The Clippers get Rodney Hood and Semi Ojeleye from the Bucks. The Bucks get Serge Ibaka from the Clippers, a 2022 second-round pick from Detroit, and a 2024 second-round pick from Detroit. via Sacramento. So technically it was the Kings pick, but it was traded from the Pistons. That's confusing. And then the Kings get Dante DiVincenzo from the Bucks, Josh Jackson from the Pistons, and Trey Lyles from the Pistons. Does anyone want to attack that first?
I'll give it a whopping try. You're gonna have to remind me of players, but I'll start off with the Bucks. You got Serge Ibaka. I give them an A+. I think that was a well-needed move for them. Then we'll go over. They got Bagley, right?
Yep,
Yes.
And that's the only one they got.
that's it.
All right. Well, Bagley's very, very injury prone, almost like a pissing god.
He doesn't even deserve that
So
nickname
I'll
anymore.
give that. No. So I'll give them a D because it could go up, but he's always injured. Where did Dante DiVincenzo go? The Kings?
The Kings.
Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Jackson, and Trey Lyles to the Kings.
I mean, the Kings are trying, but are they really? So
They brought in
I don't
an
know.
all-star,
I'll
so
give.
We'll get there.
We'll get to that, Fred. All for the Kings' first trade, I'll give them a B because Dante DiVincenzo can definitely help them out in the starting lineup or off the bench. Then, is that all of them or is there one more? I think there's one more.
you just have to hit the Clippers. They got Rodney Hood and Semi Ojeleye.
Rodney Hood's going to be a good guy off the bench that can shoot. And I'll give them a C-. I don't think they got a lot to help them. I mean, they got some help, but
That's fair.
they're kind of phase this year because most of their guys for the year and Paul George's been injured most of the year. So they're kind of tanking for a good young player right now. So
Yeah. Well, the only thing they got rid of was Serge Ibaka, and that was just to put them under the luxury tax or to make more room in their cap.
Yeah.
So
Ibaka was a definitely good add to the Bucks. They definitely needed him.
For sure. So the Pistons, I give the Pistons a B on this one. Josh Jackson and Trey Lyles were both young guys. They just traded two young guys, technically of lower potential for Marvin Bagley, who still seems like a lot of untapped potential. I'm not giving up on him yet. I don't think he's going to be the superstar that people thought he would be, but I'm not giving up on him yet. Interesting to see them give up 2 second-round picks. I don't know. We'll see what Detroit's planning. Maybe they're, trying to make a splash and go big with Cade Cunningham at the helm. Clippers, they get a C because they got rid of Serge. Serge is a good player. Obviously, he'll be good for the Bucks. They were just trying to save money, getting Rodney Hood and Semi Ojeleye. They may never play. I don't know. But like Isaac said, they're just kind of chilling this season. They've already said they're not playing. They're planning on not having Kawhi back. Paul George has only played a little bit, so nothing crazy there. The Bucks, I give an A. Serge Ibaka will be good to help them while they don't have Brook Lopez. I assume he'll get minutes. I don't know if he'll get more minutes than Bobby Portis. I'm not sure how they'll do that, but
I would say Serge off the bench and would still start.
I would think so too. But Serge is good to have. Championship experience, veteran, good stuff
Good
there.
defensive player.
Yeah, and they got I don't know if he is anymore. In his prime, definitely. But anyways, they got a couple picks. Good for them, just in case. You always got to have someone coming in. And then The Kings get a B from me. I really like Dante DiVincenzo. I think he'll have more chance to thrive over there. And the 2 guard spot is pretty much wide open since they don't have Reese or Buddy Hield anymore. So that should be his. And I think he'll be a good addition next to De'Aaron Fox. I think that'll be a good, fairly exciting backcourt. And then, again, Josh Jackson, Trey Lyles are just young guys with some potential. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of on some of those boats with you. I'm gonna give the Pistons a C plus. Just took a flyer on Bagley. I mean, it's a low risk, high reward situation, pretty much for a rebuilding Pistons team. The Clippers, I mean, they're just kind of there, but they got rid of money, so I'll give them a C. I mean, Rodney Hood, Semi Ojeleye, like they'll probably play at least a little bit, but this is a money move. Gonna give the Bucks an A minus. Add Serge Ibaka to pair up Bobby Portis, because I'm pretty sure Brook Lopez is still hurt. Either that or he's just not there. Last I checked, I thought he was there. But they also added 2 second rounders, so I mean, picks are always a win. And then I'll give the Kings a B plus. Like Matt said, I definitely think DiVincenzo is gonna be really nice there now that the 2 guard spot's open. Josh Jackson, Trey Lyles for extra depth. I think it's a good move for the Kings. Yeah. Okay.
So, Pistons get a B minus from BR. Clippers get a B. Bucks get an A minus. Kings get an A. So,
Okay. Yeah.
no, a
Got a
low
couple
end
small trades now.
What?
So got a couple small trades here now. A little lull.
Yep. So the Pacers get Jalen Smith in a second. The Phoenix Sun get Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig, just another experienced guy to add to the bench. Jalen Smith was never going to fit into their front court anyways. Good for the Pacers to get a pick and another young guy who was just recently a first-round pick. So C plus for the Suns. Torrey Craig can definitely help them if they need him to slide in and get some minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And B plus for the Pacers. Again, Jalen Smith, a lot of untapped potential, and every pick is a win for the Pacers.
Yeah, I agree. Isaac, want to go ahead?
I'll say C's across the board. I mean, both teams, it was pretty a balanced trade, so I'll say C's across the board.
Fair enough.
So I kind of agree with Isaac there. It's pretty much the Pacers opening minutes for a young player. They got back a low risk, high reward player, Jalen Smith, and like you mentioned, picks are always a win. So that pick kind of helps. I'll give the Pacers a C plus. I'll give the Suns a C.
Yeah, giving away a 31-year-old Torrey Craig doesn't really hurt the Pacers any, especially
Nope.
there. They gave the Pacers an A minus and the Suns a B. That's fair enough.
Fair enough, yeah.
This was an interesting one to me. The Celtics get a second-round pick that is top 55 protected, which means it can literally only be one of the last 5 picks of the draft. And the Magic get PJ Dozier, Bol, a second-round pick, and cash. So pretty much the Celtics need to open up a few roster spots. I didn't even know PJ Dozier and Bol were on the Celtics, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that they did that.
So, yeah, more young players for the Magic. They really aren't going to lose anything because they just swapped second-round picks. They got some money, dub. So A for the Magic, and the Celtics opened up roster spots for what? Nothing, really? I mean, they traded away 2 players in this. They traded away 2 players in the Derek White trade. I don't know. I'll give them a C.
Are you doing double C? Is that what you're doing? Or did you give the Magic a grade already?
I gave the Magic an A.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Or,
right.
yeah,
Isaac,
yeah.
did you go?
No, I'll go.
No,
Yeah, I completely forgot Celtics.
I just want somebody to give Bobo a chance.
I
Good luck
think
minutes.
if you look in history, the Magic have always developed centers. Look at Shaq. Look at Dwight Howard. So I think Bobo could.
Vucevic.
Vucevic, that is true too. So if you look, Bobo has a good chance to become a good role player. Mo Bamba is doing well down there right now. So I'll
Stole
give.
it. No, continue. Sorry.
I would give
I'll
you a
give.
hug if we were in person. Awesome point. Nailed it. Didn't even think about that.
I knew I should have went before him, but it's fine. Continue.
I think the Magic of B plus definitely can develop into a A. Then the Celtics are clearing roster spots for I don't know what. If they do something with those, this grade might get higher, but I'm gonna give them an F because
Oh, aggressive.
That's a take.
you didn't do anything with roster spots. F for me.
That's
Hell,
fair.
they still got rid of money. Some of it. They
Did you
did send
say they
cash to the
figured out
Magic.
money?
Okay.
They got rid of
I don't know
no
if
money at all.
neither of those dudes are making over $2 million.
Oh, I thought PJ Dozier was making like 5 or 6. That's not bad. It's okay.
I will look that up for you.
I was gonna say, I didn't think PJ Dozier was on that small of a deal.
My man signed a 3-year. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, it disappeared on me. That's annoying. All right. Anyways, 1.9 mil is the contract that he's on this year, and this is the last year of it.
What?
It was a 3-year, $3.8 million deal.
Yeah. So
Bro,
they
that's a
traded
steal.
Yeah, he's a
traded
free
away-
agent after this year,
Yeah.
so it was literally just
Yeah,
filling the
they've-
roster spot.
Yeah, but the Magic will have his bird rights though. So I
Bring
mean,
it to
they,
you.
they
but
don't need
don't
PJ
for
Dozier.
a dude that makes $1 million.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, if they
Yeah.
wanted to have PJ Dozier long term, they could.
Oh, my
But
bad.
I mean,
Global
they've got plenty of guards.
2.1 mil. My bad.
But still, that's not a lot
So
of money.
they make
for
a combined 4 mil, which is
That's like nothing for NBA owners.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, Magic they got PJ Dozier, could bring him back, but they've got plenty of guards as it is.
Future dynamic duo of the front court. Bobo and Obama.
Can't decide if I'm memeing or not. But they also picked up some
You are.
cash in a second round pick. So that's always a win. I'm gonna go with Matt. I'm gonna give Magic an A. And then the Celtics, I mean, like Isaac and Matt both said, opened up roster spots and got back a top 55 protected second rounder. Just wild. I'll give the Celtics a C.
So they gave the Celtics a B plus, and they say it was to deduct the luxury tax. So I guess they were
Yeah.
fine. Whatever, they can have it. They gave the Magic an A. So once again, the Celtics clearing up roster spots. They get Daniel Tice back from the Houston Rockets. He didn't work out the first time, but hey, let's try it again. Why not? And they gave the Rockets Bruno Fernando and Ennis Freedom. So Dennis Schroeder went from back-to-back 6th man of the year with the Thunder to took barely any money from the Lakers to be average there, to then once again took barely any money with the Celtics to be very average there, to then get traded to the Rockets to hopefully get bought out to go play for the Nets or the Sixers or
Maybe Cleveland. I've heard
maybe
rumors.
back to the Lakers. But instead, the Rockets said they're probably not going to buy him out. So
I thought they did buy him out.
I don't know if they ever ended up doing it, but I know they said they might not. You could look that up.
Wow, just saying. I know they bought out Ennis Freedom. I know that.
Yeah. My dad actually asked me about that. He was like, "So
Interesting.
did Ennis Freedom get bought out because of politics or because he sucks?" I said, "Well, I don't dive into politics a whole lot, but I think it was just because he sucks."
Got it.
Yeah, but I don't see how Daniel Tice is going to help the Celtics at all. They get a C minus from me because I like Dennis Schroeder. And the Rockets get a B minus because I think Bruno Fernando's on the younger side. They bought out Ennis Freedom, so that didn't really matter a whole lot. And then Dennis Schroeder shouldn't play for them because they should be letting the younger guys play.
Yep.
Oh, next. Mine might shock you, but what doesn't? I'm gonna give the Celtics another F because it didn't work out the first time with Daniel Tice or Thiest or whatever you say. I'm gonna give the Houston Rockets a D because they shouldn't have Schroeders. And why would you want him?
Yeah, exactly.
Taking them.
Taking minutes away from younger guys. But this was a day ago. It was posted. Dennis Schroeder reportedly staying for the rest of the season with Rockets.
There's no point in doing that unless they just don't want to buy him out.
And they have all the money in the world. Why would they not?
Exactly.
Exactly.
It just makes no sense.
Oh, Isaac, you done?
Yeah.
Okay, I just didn't know. Figured I would clarify.
So
I'm
another
gonna give the Celtics a C minus. Like you guys mentioned, I mean, didn't really work out with Daniel Tice the first time or Tease. Or... Gosh dang, Isaac, you got me doing it.
It doesn't matter.
And then I mean, the Rockets. I mean, I'll give them a C plus. I mean they did buy out and they kept Bruno Fernando. You know, the legend. But I still don't understand why they're keeping Dennis Schroeder. You might as well buy him out.
The only reason you know the name Bruno Fernando is because you could give him a contract in NBA 2K and then trade him for a first round pick.
Wait, really?
Guaranteed. That's the only reason you knew his name.
No, I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm not gonna lie. I think I know his name because anybody named Bruno is hilarious to me. Like Bruno Caboclo, dude's a meme.
Yeah, okay. Did you give your grades? Are you done with that trade?
Yes.
Cool. So the next one, the Spurs get Goran Dragic, 2022 first round pick. It's lottery protected. And then the Raptors get Thaddeus Young, Drew Eubanks, and a 2022 second round pick. The Spurs, I think they already bought out Goran Dragic.
They did. He signed
They
with the
did.
Nets.
So that didn't really matter. And then they got a first round pick, which is lottery protected this year, top 13 protected for 2023. And if they still don't get the pick, then it just becomes 2 seconds. So it doesn't really matter a whole lot. And then the Raptors get Thaddeus Young, who I like. He was actually insane for the Bulls last year. Playing a little like Draymond Green role kind of thing. 10 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, something like that. He's, 32, 34?
I think so.
Something like that.
He is in his 30s. So he's a little bit on the older side, but like if the Raptors want to go small, I know he played a little bit of 5 on small ball. But I think he's a good veteran to have on the team. I don't really know anything about Drew Eubanks, to be completely honest, and just another second round pick. So Spurs B minus. They got a pick. Goran Dragic's already gone. Free up roster spot, I guess. Whatever. Raptors B. I don't know how Thaddeus Young or Drew Eubanks tips the scale for you, so it's just kind of whatever.
I'll go. The Spurs got pretty much didn't trade Gordon Dragic. Then the pick's interesting since it's a multi-protected pick. So That's interesting. You're still going to get picks out of it, but I'm going to have to give him a C because just how that system is. The Raptors, I'll give them a C plus. I mean, you can go small ball if you want to, but that might be tough. But I'll give him C. It might work. I don't know how many years he has left on his contract, so could work. He's older. We'll see.
All right.
Brady?
I'm gonna give the Spurs a B plus just because they got picks. I mean, they bought out Dragic, but he wasn't gonna stay anyway, so that part didn't really matter. I mean, the Raptors got Thaddeus Young, so that's some nice depth. I think they bought out Drew Eubanks, and they got a second rounder in that. Which I mean, despite giving up a first rounder for Thaddeus Young, I mean, if they play well enough like they want to, it'll become 2 seconds anyway, so it won't really matter. So I'll give the Raptors a B.
Yeah, not too exciting of a trade. They gave the Spurs an A, the Raptors a B. We'll flip the order around on this one. Well, it doesn't really matter. This one's not all exciting. The Suns get Aaron Holiday, and the Wizards get Cash.
Isaac, go first.
Go for it.
So, Holiday and Cash.
Holiday for Cash.
Okay. Cash is always good, I guess. I'll give it a B because it's something interesting. The Holiday, I'll give that side of trade a C. He can score a little bit. Nothing much. Not exciting.
I was gonna say there's not really a whole lot of this not a whole lot to this deal in terms of implications or content. I'm just gonna go straight C's because well the Suns add another depth piece and the Wizards always need money.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing. C's. Another guy on the bench for the Suns. Another roster spot open for the Wizards. Sure, why not? Anyways, so the Pacers get Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson is either getting or got bought out
He got bought out.
because he's going to be a Bull. And the Kings get DeMontis Sabonis, Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, and a second-round pick.
I'll start it off. The Kings, A plus. I mean, they got an all-star to pair with De'Aaron Fox, and then they got the other trade they did earlier in the day, I believe. I think it was before the Sabonis trade. So, Sabonis, nice piece. Definitely build with Rui Hachimura there in Sabonis and Fox.
Did you say Rui Hachimura?
Rui Hachimura plays for the Wizards.
The Wizards.
Oh, and then who is it?
I'm not sure who you're talking about.
Well, they have a stud center there too.
Rashawn Holmes.
Yeah.
Okay,
you.
Clayton. Calling Rashawn Holmes a stud. What a guy.
There you go, Clayton.
He's
My fellow Cavs fan. Speaking of Clayton, he's at a Cavs game.
Yeah.
I know. We Clayton and I talked about that in our little episode at the beginning. Anyway, continue.
Thank you. So, yeah. So, two good guys there. De'Aaron Fox. There was rumors he was going to get traded, so he didn't. So, A plus for them. And then the Pacers definitely got a good future stud, I would definitely say. So, I'll give them an A plus. It's definitely a semi-even trade, but you definitely lead one side. But it was a good even trade, I would say.
You're crazy. Like, okay, yeah, the Kings got Sabonis, a good offensive center that doesn't play defense. What did the Kings already have? A decent offensive center that doesn't play defense. What else do the Kings have? Oh, a young stud to build around in Tyrese freaking Halliburton. Plus, Buddy Hield off the bench. And I mean, Tristan Thompson held the water. So, I mean, there's that. Like, if you're the Kings, okay, why do you want Sabonis? Like I get it, but I don't. You know, you didn't have defense to begin with. So why would you make it worse?
You're severely underrating Domantas Sabonis' defense.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I am, but
14 rebounds a game doesn't really seem like he doesn't play any defense.
okay, yeah, but I mean, you could still have Tyrese Halliburton and have Rashawn Holmes get like 10. Like, I would rather have Tyrese Halliburton than 4 to 6 more rebounds a game, personally. I mean, I think losing Tyrese Halliburton for the Kings, I hate that move. Losing Reese. Because he's a very good young guard that will absolutely kill it for the Pacers. So I'm never giving the Pacers an A. Actually, no, I'll give it an A plus because they added Tyrese. Chris Duarte's played well. They can stick them together. Hill off the bench or can play 2-3. Mix in there with TJ Warren if he's ever healthy again.
Yeah.
I mean, Tristan Thompson, they already bought him out. He's already on the Bulls. I'm gonna give the Kings. I'll give them a C minus because yes, Sabonis, but losing Reese just hurts too much for me to give them a high grade. Did I say losing Sabonis or am I just crazy?
You did.
Losing Halliburton just makes it hard to give him a good grade.
There you go.
Thought I was losing it. Turns out I was. Matt?
Lost it. Not losing. Lost it.
Fair enough.
So I'm definitely more on Brady's side. I was really excited to see De'Aaron Fox finally get the chance to get out of Sacramento and restart his career. And Tyrese was young, full of energy, and ready to be that guy for the city and wanted to be that guy for the city. I don't know if you guys looked at the article that came out or anything.
Yeah.
That he partially wrote or something like that. I don't know all the details, but it was pretty much he wanted to be the guy in that city and he wanted to be the one who rebuilds the team no matter what. And then he just got completely blindsided by the organization.
Yeah. I don't like how the Kings handled that either. That was another part of my grade. I forgot to mention.
Business, that's the thing.
It's true.
Sucks to be like that, but it is. So for the Pacers side, Tyrese Halliburton, huge win. He's going to dominate for them. He's going to be their guard of the future. I would assume they move on from Malcolm Brogdon here soon.
Yeah, in Turner, I think.
Oh,
too.
whoa.
Miles Turner's not a guard. You relax.
He said moving on from them, you idiot.
I know, but still.
Shut up. Stop talking. No, they're not going to get rid of Miles Turner because that was the point of getting rid of Domantas Sabonis, was allowing Miles Turner to flourish and be the head big man now. I did expect them to move Miles Turner, but they didn't. So, maybe he can make a name for himself in Indiana. Like we said, Tristan Thompson gone, doesn't matter. Buddy Hield, just another place for him to keep doing the same thing. Come off the bench, hit some threes, bring some energy to it. The Kings is just an interesting situation. Obviously, with Tyrese gone, De'Aaron Fox is going to be able to shine more. He's going to get more touches. He's now their guy again, so he'll be playing with more confidence. Domantas Sabonis is going to be a good guy for him to play with because Domantas Sabonis can do the playmaking. De'Aaron Fox doesn't have to worry about that as much. Justin Holiday, good bench piece. Jeremy Lamb, good bench piece. The thing is for the Kings, they're in such a long playoff drought that getting Domantas Sabonis makes it possible for them to push for that play-in spot. And that's pretty much all it is they have the opportunity to push just to get some postseason buzz on the team.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the standings right now, they're in 13th, but they're a game and a half behind the Spurs and Pelicans. And the 10th seed is currently held by the Trailblazers, who are hard tanking.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that 10th could be any of the Spurs, the Pelicans, or the Kings by the end of the season. So,
Yeah.
and let's be honest, the Lakers are the 9th seed right now, and they have not been anything special. So who knows where
Nope.
that's going to end up. So, I mean, yeah, the Kings are making the push. I guess good for them. If they make the postseason, maybe that makes a few fans happy. But if you look at the rest of the West that's above them, what is your ceiling on a team of De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis? Well,
True.
good luck to Domantas Sabonis. It's just like he's back in Indiana. In 2 years,
Yeah.
for that team is the 6th seed and getting crushed in the playoffs every year. Is it even the 6th seed? Are they too far behind now? Is their ceiling the 8th seed and they got to be in the play-in every year? Like 8, 9? Like, I don't know. I give the Pacers an A+. Love Tyrese. Love Miles Turner getting the chance to be the big man on campus whenever he gets healthy. The Kings get a C+ from me. Good for them for making the big change. Trying to change the culture there, I guess. That's all I got.
We've got. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
They gave the Pacers an A, and they didn't even give the Kings a grade. They gave them an incomplete.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. Not sure how that works, but so let's kind of try to push through these last few a little quicker, kind of speed go through them. Clippers get Robert Covington and Norman Powell. Trailblazers get Eric Bledsoe, Keon Johnson, Justice Winslow, and a 2025 second. Huge L for the Trailblazers. Justice Winslow's been playing well, but none of them are that good. None of them are building pieces. Keon Johnson's, I think, was a first-round pick, late first-round pick. Second-round pick a few years from now. Not a whole lot for Norman Powell. Good for them to get away from Robert Covington. Clippers got some really good pieces, I guess. Robert Covington's not as good as he used to be. He's definitely on his downfall, but Norman Powell is still a really good player. So the Clippers get an A from me because they didn't give up anything, and they got Norman Powell, dub, and the Blazers get a D because they didn't get anything back.
I agree with you, Matt.
So Isaac, I said, are you giving grades at all, or are you just gonna agree with Matt?
Agreeing with Matt. I agree with his grades and everything.
All right, that's fair. I definitely think the Clippers. I'm gonna give them a B+ because they got some nice depth in Rocco and Normie. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you guys giving the Blazers a D. Not just purely because they didn't really get anything, but they really traded for Eric Bledsoe. Come on, man.
Come on.
Yeah, just now. Blazers get a D now.
No, so the Trailblazers are tanking, and they didn't get anything to tank with, pretty much.
Tanking for Zion.
How you don't get a first-round pick for Norman Powell blows my mind. But they didn't, so they get a D. And that's also what BR gave them, was an A and a D. So
Fair enough.
So Trailblazers, again, they move on from C.J. McCollum, Larry Nance Jr., and Tony Snell. And they get Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Josh Hart, Didi Luzada, okay, Tomas Satoransky, 2022 first-round pick.
Bless you.
And then a Milwaukee 2025 first-round pick. And then a 2026 and 2027 second-round pick. Brady starts off there.
I definitely like the CJ McCollum move for the Pelicans, and got shooting legends Tony Snell. Larry Nance will be nice off the bench for them too. The Blazers, I like the Josh Hart addition. Got a lot of picks, which will be nice for the rebuild. They traded Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but we'll get to that here in a minute. I'll give the Pelicans a B+, even though Zion just now the other day reached out to CJ McCollum like 3 weeks after the fact, something like that. I don't know how long it's been. I'll give the Blazers a B+ as well, just because they picked up Josh Hart and then they flipped Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Matt?
Quick story. Josh Hart and Larry Nance Jr. traded houses too.
What?
I couldn't bring that up. Yeah.
But yeah, they said, well, he owned a place in New Orleans and I owned a place in Portland, so we just traded houses too.
It's amazing.
All right, hey, go off. Josh Hart and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, great pieces for Portland to build off of. They're both fairly young. The Naw and Anthony backcourt will be interesting. To see how that works. They're both pretty ball-heavy players, but I think it can work out. Josh Hart, a solid wing to have on any team, and obviously picks really good. Portland Trailblazers I'll give them a B+ on this one. I think there's definitely some good chances for that to work out. They finally got some first-round picks for one of their guys. New Orleans is going to get a B here. I think CJ McCollum is going to be great for them. They can give him the ball in late games. Doesn't all have to be BI anymore. And Larry Nance Jr. is always going to be. I think Larry Nance Jr. can really be a good big to put next to Zion next year when he comes back. Because Larry Nance Jr., he can shoot the ball a little bit if he has to, and they can force him to do that a little bit, kind of stay along the perimeter on offense and let Zion go to work. Because Steven Adams and Jonas Valanciunas aren't really those guys for that.
Yeah, I agree. Matt, do you want to get us started on the next one too? Just want to get that far.
I haven't gone yet.
Yeah, it hasn't even gone yet.
I thought Isaac talked already. That's my bad.
Yeah, relax.
Jeez.
Sorry.
I definitely agree with you, Matt, but I think Zion's out the door, but that's a different story for a different podcast.
Yeah.
But CJ McCollum is definitely going to help that team out. Nance is definitely going to be a good bench piece or slide into the starters, maybe a little bit, but definitely give the Pelicans a plus there. They needed another guy like CJ McCollum to help out Brandon Ingram, so that's nice. Trailblazers got a couple nice pieces. Josh Hart can definitely shoot the ball. Got a good pick, so I'll give them a B. So
Isaac's just disappointed that McCollum didn't go to the Cavs. Let's be honest.
That's true. Okay. Pelicans got a B+. Blazers got an A-.
Okay. Yeah.
So another Trailblazers trade. Nice. Trailblazers get Elijah Hughes, Joe Ingles in the 2022 second. Spurs get Tomas Satoransky, 2027 second round pick from Utah. Utah get Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Juancho Hernan-Gomez.
Brady started off since
No, I was gonna go last.
Utah got Nickeil Alexander-Walker?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No, how did I miss that?
I don't know. That's why when you're talking about how Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Anthony Simons is gonna be a good backcourt, I was like, what are you talking about?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's a horrible trade for Portland. I mean, Elijah Hughes is young, sure, but Joe Ingles isn't going to play a minute for them. And
exactly.
Second means, oh my gosh, I was blindsided by that. How did I miss that?
That's okay, wild. Buddy.
Freaking Walmart. All right. Let's see. So Portland takes a fat L there. They get a D from me. Utah gets a. Oh no, wait! I do remember that because we talked about Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Jordan Clarkson being the exact same player for them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did.
So that I do remember that happened at some point. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, so yeah, C- for Utah Jazz because they already have a slightly more experienced Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and the Spurs C. I don't know. Tomas Satoransky doesn't really mean anything to me. Just a bigger sized guard and another second round pick for 5 years from now. Congrats.
Yeah.
Boring trade.
Yep.
And Juancho Hernan trash. So the Utah Jazz.
Yeah. Isaac?
I'll give Portland a B plus just because Joe Ingles can't play and they're tanking, so I'll give them a B plus.
Fair.
Then see sport from there.
Interesting. I'm gonna give the Blazers a C. I mean, Elijah Hughes, and he played well when Donovan Mitchell had a concussion. He and Trent Forrest kind of both played well. Joe Ingles, I mean, he's never gonna play a minute for the Blazers, so technically, still only played for Utah. Technically,
He's gonna come back here anyways.
yeah, I was gonna say he's either retiring or coming back, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, the Blazers got a pick, so it is what it is. Spurs same way. Satoransky's just there at this point. And they picked they got us until 2027, so still got a little bit till that would actually might matter. And then for Utah, I mean, I don't understand why we got Juancho. That one's beyond me. But I think Clarkson might shift towards what Joe Ingles did, where he doesn't have to be like a ball handler off the bench. He can just kind of be shooting threes. And Alexander can be the main ball handler off the bench, even though Mitchell plays most of the game.
Absolutely no chance that Jordan Clarkson can play off ball. Anyways.
I mean, you might be right. I don't know. Alexander Walker hasn't played a game with the Jazz yet. He sat out.
I'm definitely right. He couldn't play off the ball with Cleveland either. He always had the ball in his hands.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. All right, fair. You win. Fair.
He stood around when LeBron was on the court, and when LeBron got off, he chucked a bunch of shots up.
Yeah. So, I'll give Utah a B- for that one.
Okay. They gave the Blazers a C, Spurs an A, Jazz a B plus. Why did the Spurs get an A for that? All right, never mind. We don't.
Another strange trade. KZ Okpala to OKC.
Man, you did that because you thought I wasn't going to pay attention and skip it. Who do you think you are?
I don't know, man. I just work here.
Just finish it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, the Heat got 2026 second rounder. The Thunder got KZ Okpala and amended protections on Miami's 2023 lottery protected first rounder to the 2025 pick. Oh, wait. The Heat. Okay, Oladipo went from the Thunder to the Heat last year, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, the Pacers to the Heat.
So what the heck is this amended to the picks, amended protections thing?
No, Oladipo was a Rocket.
Oh, that's right.
You
I don't
went
know
to
why.
the Pacers, the Rockets.
I don't know where this pick came from then. What does it say?
All that means is that they had the pick. It was a protected pick. Now it's an unprotected pick for 2 years later. Or
Okay,
maybe
fair enough.
still a protected pick. It's just 2 years later. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It was nothing. They got a first round pick for a second round pick. That was literally
Yep.
it.
Yeah, because they bought out Okpala.
Yeah.
C's across the board.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, sure. C's across the board. C plus for the Thunder. Another first round pick. Congratulations. All right. Finish up with the Karis LeVert trade. Cleveland gets Karis LeVert in a 2022 second. Indiana Pacers get an injured Ricky Rubio 2022 first. That's lottery protected. And a 2027 second. Brady, go first.
I definitely like the Karis LeVert move. Because I mean, with Colin Sexton out, the Cavs needed another guy who can come in and play guard, either starting or off the bench. Just kind of depends on what they decide to do between LeVert and Okoro. Because Garland's balling up. I mean, for the Pacers to go Ricky Rubio, tore his ACL, but they got a couple picks out of Karis LeVert. So I mean, I'll give the Cavaliers an A- because I think if they keep LeVert long term, I mean they might. At this point, the main thing for the Cavs is do they keep LeVert or Sexton? Or do they keep both? It's more of what are they going to do with that, and I think that's actually what I was going to ask you at some point. And then I'll give the Pacers an A, just because they got picks. They sorely need.
That's fair. I'm excited to see Karis LeVert in a new place again. Hopefully it works out for him. I don't see how that can hurt the Cavs, and the Cavs really didn't need their first round pick this year anyways, because they don't really need another young piece right now. Right now, it looks like they're building past adding young pieces. It looks like they're out of that phase of the rebuild. So good for them. They get an A- from me. Just because I don't know how Karis LeVert fits into their scheme. I'm sure they'll figure it out. Good for them. Pacers get a B-. I don't know. Ricky Rubio's just kind of there. Obviously, he's not going to play. And they get a few picks. So
Isaac?
Okay. So for the Cavs, we got Karis LeVert. I'm gonna have to give that a B just because he's a little bit injury prone. He's out for 1 to 2 weeks with the sprained foot now after the All-Star break. Fancy. Yeah. But we did get Laurie Markkinen back today, and he had a pretty good night. Ricky
Is that game
Rubio-
over?
Yeah, we won.
Okay.
no, you didn't.
Okay, I looked at my phone wrong.
You lost
There's a
106
chance.
to 103 to the Pistons.
Rip.
And Laurie
So-
Markkinen might have been your highest score.
Yeah.
6-1.
22.
Well, Garland's still dealing with the back, so
I was going to say Rondo was your point guard, so that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
we'll have those nights. Whatever.
Bro had 6 turnovers. Anyway,
I was
Isaac,
just about to
continue.
say that. 12 points, 9 assists, but 6 turnovers.
The Pacers got Ricky Rubio will not play a minute, and I think he'll probably come back to Cleveland because he was playing really well with us. Good fit.
It's possible.
And then got a first round pick. We don't need it this year, so I'll give them overall C plus. The first round pick, and the Cavs get a B minus. So Karis LeVert has that injury problem that he's had, but it's that we're willing to take because we need that ball handler to either come off the bench or start. I mean, we got what we needed. It was definitely what we needed. I just hope so he's a little less injury prone. He plays a little less minutes. So that's what I'd like to see. So, and Brady, bringing up your topic with Sexton, I think we do a sign and trade in the offseason with him, unless he's willing to, unless one either Karis LeVert or Colin Sexton is willing to come off the bench. And I don't think either of them are. So,
I mean, you can always play Karis LeVert at 3 and move Markin into the bench. That's what Clayton said a little bit ago.
I don't see that happening though.
I mean, yeah,
No.
that's fair. I mean,
I don't. They like 3 7-footers a little bit too much. And
I was gonna say, I mean, the triplet towers is working, so I wouldn't.
I'm not opposed to it because it's working. And if you're a team like the Timberwolves, you should be terrified because
we're in the West. We see you twice a year.
Well, I was calling a team short, but yeah.
We are that
He's
too.
just trying to bully you before they get beat on Monday. It's okay.
No, that's fair. The Cavs should throw today, so
if Garland plays, the Cavs should win. If Garland doesn't play, win.
That's true. You did just lose.
That's very true.
Because LeVert's out, so there's that. But another thing with LeVert, if you play map 2, you continue your tall lineup because Garland's on the average side. LeVert's like 6'6", 6'7", I think, and then you have your 3'7" player.
at best.
Okay. 6'5", yeah, still tall.
He is a good size shooting guard.
Yeah.
All right. Let's try to wrap this up. The Cavs got a B+. The Pacers got an A+. I'm sure we're all giving the Lakers an F because they didn't do anything.
Same with
Yeah.
the Knicks.
The Knicks get an F because they didn't do anything. I'm fine with the Wolves not doing anything. Would I have loved to add Marcus Smart? Absolutely.
I'll give the Wolves a B.
Yeah, I don't mind giving the Wolves a B.
The Wolves were at least more involved than the Lakers and Knicks were, so that's what matters.
Not really. I mean, we didn't do anything. The Hawks didn't really do anything, but again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But yeah, we pretty much hit on everyone else. Isaac, 2 minutes. Everything you want to say about the All-Star break. Ready, go.
Curry, continue shooting like that, please. Love the Cavs. Got the dubs. Thought we'd beat Giannis in that 3-point shot to go on to the finals. Mobley hitting half court shot. Excellent. Love to see it. 3-point competition. Lovely. Go Cat. Dunk competition. God awful. Worst that's ever in the history of the NBA.
Yeah. Is that it?
And go Cavs.
All right, fair. Brady, 2 minutes. Ready, go.
All right, so I'm going to spend part of my 2 minutes saying Cat is a great shooter and could eventually become the greatest shooting center of all time. You guys can agree or disagree, but he definitely has a chance.
Potentially.
He
Who's
is
ahead of it?
the shooter of all time. With
I
big
don't
men.
know. I was saying potentially, as in like I don't know who's like better than him as of right now. I haven't looked into it that much yet. I haven't watched the skill competition yet, but obviously the Cavs winning is kind of cool. Carson's probably sad because Josh Giddey took the L, but that's nothing usual or unusual. My apologies. Dunk contest. I watched it the day after on YouTube. Like it was trash. I mean, Obi Toppin tried to make it cool, but yeah, it just wasn't. Like I mentioned, Cat winning 3-point contest. That 3-point contest was awesome to watch. Even though I watched it not live, still amazing. All-Star game. Curry shot 16 of 27 from 3. The fact that he took that many 3-pointers is wild to me, but it was the All-Star game, so I'm really not surprised. Oh, also, Giannis had 30 on that team while Curry had 50. I was like, wait a minute.
All right, done?
Yeah,
2
that's
minutes
all I got.
going down.
All right, my 2 minutes, then the wrap up. Okay, I like the new skills competition. I like the teams. Keep that up. I like having the hometown team. Keep doing that for sure. The rookies, you can always do that. And like next year, you can do the holidays instead of the Antetokounmpos. Awesome. Keep that up. 3-point competition, insane. Cat, greatest shooting big man of all time. Can't take that away from him. Awesome. Love that my boy grabbed the dub. Dunk competition, they need to make it a pro-am. So they need to have pros dunking, but they also need to have, like those guys that you see on Instagram and TikTok and whatever that do crazy dunks. Bring them in. Let them show up the NBA players. That would be awesome. Bring back some cool stuff to it. And bring back props, bro. Why aren't we dunking over cars anymore? Why aren't we blowing out candles? Why aren't we dunking on mini hoops? Bring out the 12-foot rim for John Morant. Something. Make it cool again. All-Star game, like Isaac said, Curry, keep shooting like that. Shout out to LeBron. Had to hit that signature shot to end it all in his hometown. Awesome. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Follow Hot Take Sports 16 on social medias. I know everybody says this, but like, subscribe to the podcast and stuff on YouTube. Leave a rating on Spotify. It really helps to get it out. HotTakeSports.online. Buy merch. We know this episode, but we wanted to get it all in there.
Yeah, like Matt said, long episode, but definitely listen to if you have time to just plug in and listen to our reactions.
And shout out to Clayton for ditching the podcast to watch his team lose to the freaking Pistons. All right, good night.